Titus Alone by Mervyn Peake. Read by Rupert Degas. To north, south, east, or west, turning at will, it was not long before his landmarks fled him. Gone was the outline of his mountainous home, gone that torn world of towers, gone the grey lichen, gone the black ivy, gone was the labyrinth that fed his dreams, gone ritual, his marrow and his bane, gone boyhood, gone. It was no more than a memory now, a slur of the tide, a reverie, or the sound of a key turning. From the gold shores to the cold shores, through regions thigh-bone deep in sumptuous dust, through lands as harsh as metal, he made his way. Where is he now? Titus the abdicator. Come out of the shadows, traitor, and stand upon the wild brink of my brain. He cannot know, wherever he may be, that through the worm-pocked doors and fractured walls, through windows bursted, gaping, soft with rot, a storm is pouring into Gormenghast. It scours the flagstones, churns the sullen moat, prizes the long beams from their crumbling joists, and howls. He only knows that he has left behind him, on the far side of the skyline, something inordinate, something brutal, something tender, something half real, something half dream, half of his heart, half of himself. Hardly knowing what he was doing, young Titus moored his small craft to the branch of a riverside tree and stumbled ashore. It was his hazy plan to take advantage of the rising ground that was heaping itself up upon the right bank, and to climb its nearest spur, in order to gain a picture of what lay ahead of him, for he had lost his way. But when he had fought his way uphill, through the vegetation, though he found himself at the crown of a blunt grass hill, he had no eyes for the landscape, but fell to the ground at the foot of what appeared to be a great boulder that swayed. But it was Titus who was swaying, and who fell exhausted with fatigue and hunger. There he lay, curled up and vulnerable, it seemed, in his sleep, and lovable also, as are all sleepers by reason of their helplessness. But sleep can be like snow on a harsh rock, and melt away at the first fleck of sentience. And so it was with Titus. Turning over to relieve his tingling arm, he saw the moon, and he hated it. Hated its vile hypocrisy of light, hated its fatuous face, hated it with so real a revulsion that he spat at it and shouted, "Liar!" And then again, and not far away, came the hyena laughter. Titus rose to his knees, the aftermath of a dream remaining like remorse, though he could remember nothing of it save that it was Gormenghast again. He picked up a stick and began to draw in the dust with the point of it, and the moonlight was so fierce that every line he drew was like a narrow trench filled up with ink. Seeing that he had drawn a kind of tower, he felt involuntarily in a pocket for that small knuckle of flint which he carried with him, as though to prove to himself that his boyhood was real, and that the tower of flints still stood, as it had stood for centuries, out-topping all the masonry of his ancient home. He lifted his head, and his gaze wandered for the first time from all that was immediately at hand, wandered away to the north, across great phosphorescent slopes of oak and ilex, until it came to rest upon a city. It was a city asleep, and deathly silent in the emptiness of the night, and Titus rose to his feet and trembled as he saw it, not only with the cold but with astonishment that while he had slept, this city should have been there all the time. Titus began to walk, not across the hills in the direction of the city, but down a steep decline to the river, where his boat